Welcome to NFL World, where the NFL starts and ends. I'm your host, Jacob, and let's react to week one of the NFL season. Week one are so confusing, not because you're looking at it and saying, well, our teams didn't play well. It's it's hard to play. They're still trying to get into shape. These guys don't play in the preseason. They don't have their feet under them yet. It takes a couple weeks. Let's first begin in Philadelphia, where we did a Cowboys Philadelphia Eagles recap, so we're not really going to do too much in depth. But I will say this: both teams played very well on offense until the weather delay, and then their defenses picked up. The offense ended up like falling apart for both sides. Defensively for the Eagles, I thought they played well. I thought Jordan Davis, who I think is my star for the Eagles, in that they played awesome. He was awesome. He had to play a lot after the Jalen Curtis suspension. Again, we got into that in the Cowboys Eagles recap. Why don't you go and watch it? It's on the channel. That game, in my opinion, really well done. Really well performed by the Eagles. The sacks statistic is a little misleading. No, they didn't have a sack, but they got pressure. They got pressure. They forced the quarterback to move his leg, move, get the ball out quick, take some shots. That's something you do want to try to force if you're a team. And I thought Jordan Davis played really well. He did lose some weight in the offseason. He had to play a lot in this game, so it was actually beneficial for him to lose that weight. Offensively, I thought the Eagles were in the run game were good. I thought Jalen Hurts, when he threw it, was really good and efficient. Just style of the game, the way it was going, was not going to be high scoring points in the aftermath. Even though it did feel like it was going that way, it never fully went that way. That went that way. Old momentum went and said, nope, no more offense. We're gonna go straight defense now. And for the Cowboys, my star of that game, in my opinion, for the Cowboys was Dak Prescott. Hit the way he played, even though his numbers don't show it. He played good. He played really good. He was putting the ball on money every time. He made some good plays. Your team has to reward you. You can't afford to have your best receiver dropping passes that are going in his chest, in his hands. You can't afford your tight end to drop passes, especially touchdowns. You cannot afford for that to happen. You know you're going to take a big shot. Why not catch the football? Dak Prescott, 188 yards, no touchdowns, but his numbers don't bear it out. But if you actually watch the game, you see, wow, like if CD catches those 2, 3 passes, and Jake Ferguson catches that touchdown, you know, that's a 70%, that's a 73% completion percentage. But we don't live in that world. That didn't happen. So 188 yards for Dak Prescott. I thought when he scrambled around, he was making good plays. I want them to get George Pickens more involved. I think they need him to be more involved. He can't have 3 catches. That just cannot happen. Javonte Williams, I thought had a really nice game, even though again, like the numbers don't bear it out. 15 carries, 54 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he was good in the red zone. He was hard to bring down, and he was something that the Cowboys needed, and they didn't have it last year. So you'll take that. CeeDee Lamb, 7 catches, 110 yards. That was on 13 targets. Your best receiver can't afford to drop some of these passes. Even if they're low, he has to find a way to grab it. And so he's got to be better too. My honorary star for the Cowboys was Devontae Williams. That's the way I thought he played. That and how the secondary played for you guys were very impressive. Bland, Diggs, and Elam, I thought, played very well. Outside of the Jahan Dotson catch, I thought everyone else had a great game. My honorary player I think would be Jalen Hurts for the Eagles. I thought he was really good. 152, 14 carries, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns. He kept them in the game. It was hard to bring him down. The Cowboys could not sack him. They sacked him one time. They had a boatload of pressure. They just could not sack him. So those are things you're talking about. Find a way to make it happen. That's what your team is trying to accomplish. Good job. So to me, that's a great job by both these teams. I think there's a lot of things, there's many things they have to improve on in the coming days and weeks, but they will figure it out. It's week one. It's not easy. The games are sloppy. That's how it works. On the Friday night game, we had the Kansas City Chiefs against the Los Angeles Chargers in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Let's start with the Chargers, who ended up winning this game 27-21, by the way. Good game by the Chargers. I thought they played very well on offense. They threw the ball a lot more than I thought, but it was good. It was welcome. Here we are. I thought Keenan Allen had some drops that I'm not used to him having. Quentin Johnston, I thought, played very well, which is kind of weird to say, come to think of it. But yeah, I thought they played well. Good job. The offense, like I said, was very explosive. The offensive line, I thought, played well. But I think that was more because the Chiefs' defense, especially in the early half of the game, was not very good. And they fixed it as the game went along. My star of the game for the Chargers, I think, was Justin Herbert. 318 yards, 3 touchdowns. Like, come on. He played great. And he had, if you even count the kneel downs, he had 32 yards rushing, including the game winning run. It salted this game well for the Chargers. Ryan Hampton had 15 carries, 48 yards. Not perfect, but he did pretty well outside of running out of bounds at the end of the second quarter, where the time could have kept going and then they could have kicked a field goal, ended the half basically. Instead, they gave the Chiefs too much time. They kick a field goal in the late second quarter. Quentin Johnston, like I said, 5 catches, 79 yards, 2 touchdowns. I thought he played good. I thought he really good. Again, it's odd for me to say, but I thought he played well. The Chiefs, okay, let's begin with what happened. I thought the Chiefs' defense to start was rough. They didn't play well in the beginning. They had a hard time. You could tell they were gassed. You could tell they struggled moving the ball. On offense, they had that big injury to Xavier Worthy on the first drive where they run a simple drag. Both Kelsey and Worthy are running drags, and they have to evade each other. And the ball was going to Worthy, so he's not looking at Kelsey anymore. He's looking at the ball. Kelsey has to try to get out of the way, and he didn't. So he collides with Worthy, dislocating Worthy's shoulder, in which he missed the remainder of the game and could miss a couple weeks. That would be catastrophic, especially with the suspension of Rashid Rice. Those are things that you have to figure out how to handle. Because to me, this offense was betting on Worthy's explosive playability, and now all of a sudden that's gone, and you were betting on guys and Hollywood Brown being your number one. Those are things that you don't feel good about. And I thought, like, Hollywood Brown had a nice game, 10 catches, 99 yards, no touchdowns. He had a big play where he ran a post concept and Mahomes was able to evade pressure and just chuck it for him. Almost a touchdown, but inside the 5 yard line. I thought Mahomes played really well too. 258, 1 touchdown. He actually led them in rushing with 6 carries, 57 yards and a touchdown. But that's my concern at the same time. Patrick Mahomes, again, I fear this if I'm the Kansas City Chiefs and Kansas City Chiefs fans. Patrick Mahomes might have to do what he did last year, where it was, Patrick, save us. We can't do anything. Our defense was playing well, but our offense couldn't score. Patrick, save us. Make a heroic play. That's what they're going to ask him to do again. They can't afford to do that. They can't. They don't have the size. Again, they don't have the size, even though they did bring in Hopkins late in the season, so that did help him out. You're betting on Juju Smith-Schuster to be your one tall wide receiver. That's it. It's him and Kelsey and Boyle. That's all you got. Everyone else is small. And that's what you're betting on. And your one guy that was fast is injured. Now you're playing Tyquan Thornton, who was cut from the Patriots, because you have nobody else. Rashid Rice is suspended. Worthy's out now. You got all these things going on. This is going to go badly if they can't find something with this wide receiving core. So I'm concerned about this offense, not so much about the defense. I think the defense will work. I think it's going to take some time. They lost Justin Reed in the offseason. So we'll see what happens. But to me, it's going to take some time. But I'm not concerned about the defense, more concerned about the offense. Let's go all the way to England with the Las Vegas Raiders faced the New England Patriots. The Raiders ended up winning this game 20-13. Geno Smith 362 in yards passing and 1 touchdown. Gentry 19 carries, 38 yards and a touchdown. Bowers was the leading receiver with 5 catches, 103 yards. Bowers ended up leaving the game with a knee injury. He says he's okay. The hope is he's okay. He doesn't think it's going to be anything that would make him miss time is the best I could describe it. When you look at the Patriots stats, it's very similar too, by the way. Drake May, 287, a touchdown. Kayshon Boutte, 6 catches, 103 yards. Henderson, 5 carries, 27 yards. They were good. The Patriots had some good plays. They just ended up losing this game. It's going to be a process. Drake May is learning Josh McDaniels just like Josh McDaniels is learning Drake May. But they did a good job here. My star of the game for the Raiders is Geno Smith. It's not even close. Geno was playing great. You brought Geno Smith in with Pete Carroll because you knew there was a familiarity there, and they're going to be able to say, hey, follow Geno. And Geno's going to be like, hey, follow Pete. He will lead us to the right direction. We'll go in the right direction if we follow those two guys. That's what Vrabel brought in to be like, hey, let's follow Vrabel. He'll bring us to the promised land. And it's a process. It's a process. This is a team, the Patriots, that was not good. That wasn't a good roster. They have to rebuild this roster. So it's a lot to go on. Let's see what happens in the coming weeks when it gets better. But I thought my star of the game was Kayshon Boutte. I thought he played great. Boutte played good football. He had over 103 yards. He had 6 catches. I thought they used him well. You just got to find a way to win. You scored in the first quarter and then you kicked field goals. That's not a good sign. You just got to find a way to be better. Now, let's head to the Sunday Night Football, where we had the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens facing off in Buffalo, New York, in Orchard Park. The Ravens, first of all, if you turn the game off in the third quarter, you would have thought the Ravens won this game. The Ravens were destroying the Bills. I'll just read the stats for the Ravens very quickly. 209 yards passing for Lamar Jackson, 2 touchdowns. He also ran for a touchdown. 18 carries, 169 yards, 2 touchdowns. Zay Flowers, 7 catches, 143 yards, a touchdown. That logic saying, okay, they should have all won the game. The Ravens had a great team. And you look, they scored 3 points in the first quarter, 17 in the second quarter, 14 in the third quarter, but 6 in the fourth quarter. He finished off the third quarter 34 points. You're expecting to win. And then Josh Allen had the real MVP showed up. 394 yards passing for Josh Allen, 2 touchdowns. He also ran for a touchdown. James Cook, 13 carries, 44 yards, a touchdown. He almost had another touchdown on a screen pass where he nearly reversed field and scored, but it was a great tackle by Nate Wiggins at the 1 yard line. Kevon Coleman had 8 catches, 412 yards, and a touchdown. Keon Coleman had that many. Keon Coleman played great football in this game. He was good. I want to go back though, because it says 6 points in the second quarter, 7 in the first quarter, 6 in the second quarter, 6 in the third quarter, 22nd in the fourth quarter, or 22 in the fourth quarter, I should say. We get down late in the second quarter. Bills are driving 6, yeah, 7. They need to get 12 yards for Matt Prater to kick a field goal. And you're all saying, wait, what? Matt Prater's on the Bills? Yes, Matt Prater is on the Bills. TJ Bass got hurt late last week. They called Matt Prater after putting Bass on IR, so he has to miss 4 games. They called Matt Prater, who was coaching high school football for his son in Arizona. They called him up, said, we need you to get Buffalo. He jumped on a red eye from on Thursday, flew to Buffalo, showed up on Friday, didn't know any of these players' names. They all thought he was a coach. Literally, they all thought, oh, we just hired a coach. Okay. No, he's the kicker. He's an actual kicker. We send him over here. They go and say, okay, here you go. We're going to. And now, the thing is, when you sign a kicker, that long snapper, that holder have to go through a whole different thing. Because a holder's got to go and be like, okay, what piece of grass do you want it on every time? So I know. I want it on that spot. Okay. It sounds meticulous because it is. It's meticulous. It's the way kickers are strange people, but it is what it is. So we get back to that situation in the second quarter. And I can actually turn this off. You get to that situation. The Bills sent 3 receivers to the left, 1 receiver to the right. They put Keon Coleman on the left side. And they basically run it out where he gets about 20 yards. And he gets out of bounds. And it was put with 1 second on the clock. They accidentally ran their 1 second off. So the Ravens thought there's no time left. So they sprint to the locker room. The official has to go and be like, no, Ravens, come back with us 1 second on. Come back. So the Ravens come back. Matt Prater goes out. He kicks the field goal. We go into halftime with the score of 20-13. So it was a good scoring game. What had happened was with the Keon Coleman stuff here was Keon Coleman goes out there on that play. All that has to happen is a part of your body has to hit the out of bounds. Any part. Foot, knee, ankle, whatever. His backside hit out of bounds with the 1 second still on the clock. So that's why they had the 1 second. Brady kicks the field goal. They're going to have 20, down 20-13. End of the game. Ravens have the lead. I think it's 40-25. They just got to run out the clock. They hand the ball to Derrick Henry, who's having a monster game, and he fumbles. Bills recover. They go down on the short. They go short field. They go score a touchdown. Now they're down 2. The Ravens can't do anything on offense. They're forced to punt. The Bills have no timeouts. They have to go down the field. The Ravens still have all theirs. They go down the field. The Bills do. The Ravens use one of their timeouts. So the Bills decide we're going to kneel 3 times. So they can't, they have to burn their timeout. So they burn their 2 timeouts they had left. There was still like 26 seconds left on the clock. There's like 30 seconds left. Bills take a final knee. They run off the field. Here comes Matt Prater in the special teams unit. They run onto the field. They have about 26 seconds to set up. So I say, okay, there's plenty of time. And then they start setting up and all that stuff. Matt Prater hasn't even done his 7 steps angle that he needs to do as a kicker. And there's like 10 seconds left. Like, they might not get this off. He sets up. He says, okay, I'm all good. Let's go. They snap the ball. 3 seconds left. He kicks it, makes it, game winner. Bills win. They win the game 41-40. It was a remarkable game to watch, not just to play, to watch happen. You just saw that is the reason he became the MVP. You could see it. You're down 15 points in the 4th quarter. The last time the Bills had came back from 15 points, 1967 against the Jets. It's been a very long time. They found a way to win that game. That is what you do. Find a way to win a game. It was the craziest game of the weekend. It was on Sunday Night Football. The whole world got to see it. I love how they played. I love how the Bills played at the end. I thought Derrick Henry played great. He's my star of the game for the Ravens. Josh Allen's my star for the Bills. And that's the recap for week 1. Let me know in the comments what you think. How good was week 1 in your opinion? Let me know in the comments. Or are you just excited for football to be back? Let me know down below. For NFL World, I'm Jacob Hebert. Out.